To another video of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar for class 9, and with that we are back to another video of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar for class 9 and 10 ICSE examinations. So in the last part we saw that Casca had been asked to be pulled by the sleeve by Cassius. He had asked Brutus to pull Casca by the sleeve and they were discussing the conspiracy. So from this scene we will see how Casca is being questioned by Brutus and Cassius. So we start. Casca: you pulled me by the cloak, would you speak with me? So Casca asked them that you pulled me by the cloak, do you want to speak with me? Brutus: Aye, Casca, tell us what hath chanced today, that Caesar looks so sad. Brutus asks him, yes, Casca, tell us what happened today, that Caesar looks so sad. Casca: why, you were with him, were you not? So Casca is a very unobservant person. He asks, were you not with him? So Brutus says, rather stating the obvious, I would not then ask Casca what had chanced. So he says, had I been there, I would not ask you right now what was going on there. Casca: why, there was a crown offered to him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus, and the people fell a-shouting. So Casca says that there was the crown offered to him, and when he was offered the crown, he set it away, he pushed it away with the back of his hand in a very offhand manner, and the people fell a-shouting, the people started shouting. Brutus: what was the second noise for? So remember there were 3 times the crowd had shouted, so Brutus asks him, what was the second shout for? Casca: why, for that too. So for the same reason, that is Caesar was being offered the crown. Cassius: they shouted thrice, what was the last cry for? Casca: why, for that too. Brutus: was the crown offered him thrice? Was the crown offered to him 3 times? Casca: aye, marry, was it, and he put it by thrice, every time gentler than the other, and at the every putting by, mine honest neighbours shouted. So Casca is a very sarcastic fellow. He says, aye, marry, so by the Virgin Mary, Mother Mary, he put it by thrice, he declined the crown thrice, each time a little gentler than the other, that is, each time with a little less enthu for putting the crown away than the other. So each time he was getting more and more upset that he had to put away the crown for the sake of appearance. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbours shouted. So this is a rather very funny thing to say, because the crowd of common people are never quite honest. Their opinions are always swayed by the opinions of others, as we will see later on in the play. So Casca says that every time Caesar pushed away the crown, mine honest neighbours shouted. Cassius: who offered him the crown? So Cassius is a straight to business kind of one. Who offered him the crown? Casca: why, Antony. So Antony offered Caesar the crown. Brutus: tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca. I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. Casca says, I would rather be hanged than recoil the happenings of today. It was mere foolery. It was all a foolish thing. I did not mark it, so I did not pay any attention to it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown. Yet, it was not a crown either. It was one of those coronets. So he says, I saw that Mark Antony offered him the crown, which is not really a crown. It was rather a wreath, a laurel. And as I told you, he put it by once, but for all that, to my thinking, he would have fain had it. So he says, I did see him put it by once, I did see him decline the crown once, but I could tell that he wanted it. Then he offered it to him again, and he put it by again, but to my thinking, he was very loath to lay his fingers off it. So he says, Antony again offered it to him, but I was sure that Caesar was very envious to lay his fingers off it. And then he offered it the 3rd time. He put it by the 3rd time, and still as he refused it, the rabble hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar. So he's being he's speaking extremely callously. He says, when the 3rd time it was offered to him, he refused it. And when he refused it, the people all hooted and clapped their rough hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and they shouted, and their breath was so bad that Caesar choked and he swooned and fell unconscious. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air. He says, I would have laughed if not I had feared for the stink of the bad breath coming from the surroundings to harm me too. So Cassius says, but soft, I pray you, what? Did Caesar swoon? Cassius says, wait a minute, let me ask you something. Caesar fainted? Casca, he fell down in the marketplace and foamed at the mouth and was speechless. Brutus, 'tis very like he had the falling sickness. So Brutus is a calm and composed fellow. He always tries to see the best in people. He says, yes, it is very possible. Caesar always had epilepsy. Cassius, no, Caesar had it not, but you and I, an honest Casca, we have the falling sickness. So Cassius says, no, great god like Caesar cannot have the disease, but we must have it. Casca, I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down. If the ragtag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in the theatre, I am no true man. So he obviously has no idea what Cassius means by that, because he was not there to listen to the conspiracies of Cassius. So he says, I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure that Caesar fell down. So he says that if the ragtag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them, as they used to do the players in his theatre, I am no true man. So people clap whether they are pleased or when they are displeased. It does not matter. Brutus, what said he when he came unto himself? What did Caesar say when he became conscious again? Marry, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad, he refused the crowd. He plucked me ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. Casca says, before Caesar fell down, he had perceived that the crowd was glad that he had not accepted the crown, and he opened his tunic and offered his throat to be cut by the people. And I had been a man of any occupation, if I would not have taken him at word, I might go to hell among the rogues. So he says that had I been a man of occupation, that is a man who was working, a soldier or a worker like the cobbler and the artisans, so had I been a working man, I would have taken his offer and I would have killed him too and gone to hell among the rogues. And so he fell, and so he became unconscious. When he came to himself again, when he became conscious again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their workships to think it was his infirmity. So Caesar is a skilled politician. He says when he becomes conscious again, he said to the people that, have I said anything hurtful to you all? If I have, please excuse me. 3 or 4 wretches where I stood cried, alas, good soul, and forgave him with all their hearts. So wretches means women, a very degraded term for women. They say, so Casca heard 4 women say, alas, good soul, to Caesar when he said that good thing, and forgave him with all their heart. But there is no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less. So Cassius says that had Caesar stabbed their mothers and then apologized, they would have forgave him even still. So it's not a big deal. Brutus, and after that he came thus sad away. So after that he came this way looking so sad. Casca, yes, he did. Casca, Cassius, did Caesar say anything? Casca, he spoke Greek. Speaking Greek means he spoke something that he could not understand. So he spoke, I could not understand what he was speaking. Cassius. To what effect? So what effect did his speech have on the people? Casca. Nay, and I tell you that, and I'll near look you the face again, but those that understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. I could not tell you more news too. Mariolus and Flavius, for pulling scarves of Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well, there was more foolery yet, if I could remember it. So Casca says, nay, I will tell you that. So he says, I do not know what happened there when Caesar was speaking. I did see that when the people who understand him, they smiled and shook their heads, but I could not, it was Greek to me. I could tell you more news too, so he has some news to share. Mariolus and Flavius, remember the 2 tribunes from the first scene. they had pulled the decorations of Caesar's paintings for cutting his wings, clipping his wings. They have been put to silence. So, we are not really sure what put to silence means. It could be either they have been removed from their positions as tribunes and they have been fired from their jobs, or the simple fact that very, very ruthless. Fare you well, there was more foolery yet if I could remember it. So he said that I would now like to say goodbye to you both because there was more stupid things going on there, if only I could remember it. Cassius. So Cassius wants to include Casca in their plan. He asks Casca, will you sup with me tonight, Casca? So will you have dinner with me tonight, Casca? He wants to brainwash Casca in his house. Casca, no, I am promised food. So he says that I have a prior arrangement, I cannot. Cassius, will you dine with me tomorrow? Casca, aye, if I be alive and with your mind hold and with your dinner be worth eating. So if your mind holds, if I am alive and if your dinner is worth eating, I will dine with you. So, Cassius, good, I will expect you. Do so, farewell both. Now Brutus is very irritated with Casca. He says, what a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was a quick metal when he went to school. So Brutus says, what a stupid and and annoying person he has become now. He was rather smart and lively when he went to school. Cassius, so is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However he puts on this tardy form, this rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men a stomach to digest his words with better appetite. So Cassius is a very good judge of character. He says, he is a quick mental even now in execution when he is doing any noble or bold enterprise. However, he puts on this tardy form, this annoying, irritating form. This rudeness is but a very sauce to his good wit, which better gives men stomach to digest his words. So people cannot usually digest his cunning words. So Cicero uses his rudeness as a sauce for them to be able to swallow his words. Brutus. And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Or if you will, come home to me and I will wait for you. So Brutus says, and so let it be. I will leave you now. Tomorrow, if you want to speak to me, I will come home to you, or better, you come home to me, I will wait for you. Cassius, I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Exit Brutus. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honourable mettle may be wrought. Now, Cassius' soliloquy. He reveals his internal notions about why he wants Brutus in the conspiracy. Your honourable nature may be brought. From that it is disposable. Therefore, 'tis meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? He says, your honourable nature can be bought, that is no problem. And noble minds ever keep their likes. So noble minds will always look towards what is right for the people. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Who is so great in the world who cannot be seduced by, who cannot be misled, who cannot be manipulated? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humour me. So he says that Caesar does not like me much, but he loves Brutus. And if I were Brutus and Brutus were Cassius, he would not humour me. I will this night in several hands and in at his window throw, as if they came from several citizens, writings all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds his name, wherein obscurely, and after this let Caesar seat him sure, for we will shake him. He says, Brutus will not be easily moved, so I will tonight by different handwritings write letters, who will all tend to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambitions shall be glanced at. So he will write letters that concern Caesar's ambition, and this he will throw at different positions for Brutus to find. For we will shake him, for worse days endure. For Cassius wants to prepare Brutus for worse days to come, for worse wars. So this ends Act 1, Scene 2. So I will be back with Scene 3. Till then, forever yours, Echoes of English Literature. Thank you.